And I think the broader basket of school choice that allows parents to be involved again in choosing the type of education they deem best for their child, and where they have some power to take their children out of schools that are not working, is the kind of system that we're going to get in a system that allows money to follow the child.
Thank you very much, Mr. Blackwell. Mr. Price of the Call-in Post will ask our sixth question to Mr. Strickland.
Mr. Strickland, I want to just follow up a little bit about that issue of charter schools. You feel that the charter schools have not been held accountable. What kinds of systems would you put in place to ensure that charter schools are held equally accountable as public schools?
You got to see two gentlemen basically discuss some issues that are rather important, I think, to all of us, I mean, teachers, students, administrators, whatever it might be. What were some things just off the top that stood out for you guys, and they can be positive or negative from what these two gentlemen had to say?
Matthew Ortiz. Well, I wrote down both of their types of way they came at when they were talking, the way they came at the public. Strickland was more, he was trying to appeal to the majority of Ohio, and it seemed like Blackwell was more towards the parents only, and more of the ideas that were going to affect the parents more than the students. Strickland had many good points. One I have right now is lack of leadership in Ohio. Before, I think hit it dead head on, because that is the major reason why this state has went down.
So in your opinion, you believe leadership?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's it right now.
Okay.
Matthew Ortiz.
Did some of the concerns they bring up, did they match your guys' concerns? Was it some of the things they were talking about, could you relate with what they were saying, or was it kind of like they're missing the boat?
If you want me to stand.
Yeah, if you would, please.
Okay. Jeff Garcia. Well, as a senior, I'm going into college next year, and he said that the average tuition costs for Ohio were 47%, I believe, above the average for all of the rest of the United States. So I was just really concerned on how he would be able to make sure that those tuitions came, as equal compared to the rest of the states. And he never really came with a solid conclusion of that. I remember specifically them asking them that, and he never really answered it.
Okay.
And Joel Taylor, and I think the thing that stood out was that Blackwell, his wife was he said his wife was a principal, and I think that what she knows, she's in the school system and he's behind her, so he knows firsthand what schools need and how they're funded and things like that. So I think that he did have some good points on how we should move on for Ohio.
Do you think they really made an effort to plan the fact that letting people know, was that, do you think, a strategic move on his part to make sure that that really came out there, that my wife is a superintendent, I have a lot of experience in conversations with my wife, so that obviously worked with you then, because if you didn't know that, you might not feel as warm and fuzzy inside, right? I don't know if you feel warm and fuzzy. Maybe you do now.
My name is Cassandra Epps. One thing that Strickland mentioned was the big emphasis on standardized tests. And as a student taking so many standardized tests throughout the year, I've learned that in the classroom, a lot of teachers, they have to focus, this is going to be on the OGT, or this is going to be on your next test that you have to take. And it kind of takes away from just going to school and having an education and just learning in class. You more learn that you're going to take a test, and you're not really learning to help you to gain knowledge to advance you in the future. So one thing that I really agreed with, that the emphasis on standardized tests is way too big these days.
And what grade are you in?
11.
Okay, so you've gone through that. Those of you that are seniors, now that you've taken care of all the standardized testing and everything, it felt like a big weight being lifted off you, didn't it?